When there's money on the line, Buddy Gilmore is always somewhere to be found. And he's not taking anything for granted. He's certainly not ready to concede anything to Jate Lobel.
Horse racing is always a horse racing. They keep going out there often enough. Sometimes they get beaten. You know, just racing luck, not mistakes. Racing luck will get you beat sooner or later if you keep going out there often enough. You know, you hate to see a horse like him get beat when he's great like that, but that's what he's out there for, and that's what we're all out there to do. You know, if it just happens with racing luck, well, that's the name of the game.
And there we have another look at Jate the Great Lobel, winner of almost $1 million career, winner of 21 of 22 career starts, and now he wants to go away from here, winner of the $1 million North America Cup, the first $1 million horse race ever held in Canada. Mark O'Meara is confident. He's not overconfident, but he knows that there are 8 other horses in the race. And we talked to Bill O'Donnell and asked him, if somebody is going to beat Jate Lobel, if it's going to happen, how will it happen?
To stay as close to the horse as you can, you know, and hopefully he gets used up more than you do, and you're in the right place at the right time, and that's the only way to beat him, I think. I mean, he's a pretty awesome horse.
Well, that's about all you can say, unless, rather, before the race. I mean, they've got to get out there and do it at this stage. Jate Lobel is the favorite. There are 8 other horses that think they can beat him, otherwise they wouldn't be here. It's fine for somebody to say, yes, we're going to race for second place money. It's $250,000 and it's a nice payday. But I don't think any of them would be here if they didn't think they had a shot at winning this race.
That's very true, Steve. And the number 9 horse, Log, is the second choice in the betting. Many people have suggested that Jate Lobel will take back off the gate, but I don't think he will. Here are the final odds, and you can see Jate Lobel is the heavy favorite at 1-5. Log is the second choice at 9-2. There are a couple horses, Rare Review and Stage Door Stevie, at 8-1. The rest are relative outsiders, according to the bettors.
Well, they're saying that Jate Lobel is far and away the best pacing horse of the 80s. Some say the best of all time. Earl, before we go to the upstairs to John Craik, I'll ask you to pick a winner.
Well, it'll be Jate all the way, and he's pulling very hard in behind the gate, you can see, and I think he'll go straight to the front. He may at some point let someone go, but I think the way things are set up, he's going to go straight to the front.
All right, and Earl is 0 for 1 with an asterisk so far, but right now we're going to go upstairs to John Craik for the North America Cup.
Okay, Earl and Steve, Jate Lobel remains at 1-5. We're ready to go. The gate swings into the backstretch for the 5th race. The North America Cup, $1 million on the line, and there they go. They're off then, pacing. Jate Lobel drives out at the rail. In between horses, they move around the far turn. That's Bomb Rickles, and from the extreme outside, 3 wide, Stage Door Stevie going with them now. Those 3 as they move around the far turn, and Jate Lobel wants the lead. Stage Door Stevie up on the outside is 2nd. Bomb Rickles is 3rd. Frugal Gourmet found a spot at the rail early, is situated 4th as they move over towards the quarter-mile station. Rare Review is 5th, and Jate Lobel takes him past the first quarter, 27-3. Stage Door Stevie on the outside 2nd. At the rail in 3rd as they move in front of the grandstand. That's Frugal Gourmet. Rare Review is 4th. Log is on the move in 5th. Bomb Rickles racing in 6th. Set the Trap is 7th. Racing in 8th is DT Slipper, and Perfect Morning is 9th around the turn. Jate Lobel a length and a half in front. Frugal Gourmet now regains 2nd. Stage Door Stevie on the outside is racing in 3rd. Rare Review is 4th, a half in 55 seconds flat. Log is racing 5th at the rail. Then in 6th, the move down the backstretch. That's Bomb Rickles racing 7th on the outside. Set the Trap. DT Slipper is 8th, and Perfect Morning. Jate Lobel 2 lengths in front. Frugal Gourmet 2nd. Rare Review now 3rd on the outside. Racing in 4th is Stage Door Stevie. Log is 5th, racing up to be 6th as they move around the far turn to Set the Trap. Jate Lobel at the 3/4 in 1:23-2. Frugal Gourmet is 2nd. Rare Review racing in 3rd. Log is 4th. At the rail in 5th. The move over to the top of the lane is Stage Door Stevie. Jate Lobel leads the way home. Frugal Gourmet out of the pocket. Here he comes. Rare Review is 3rd. Jate Lobel under urging. Frugal Gourmet is powering up on the outside. Rare Review is 3rd. Jate Lobel. Frugal Gourmet is getting to him. Frugal Gourmet and Jate Lobel. Frugal Gourmet and Jate Lobel at the wire in the mile. 1:52-3. A new track record.
Well, Steve, it was almost in the record books that But as I said, Frugal Gourmet is a trip horse, and he got the trip. He got the trip behind Jate Lobel tonight with Stage Door Stevie trying to run him down. But look at that. The track record lowered by almost 2 full seconds. It's unbelievable that Jate can go there. It's unbelievable that another horse could be that close to him in such a fast mile. He did win it. He won it at least by a head, but he was all out that final 16th. Frugal Gourmet has given him all he wanted.
I'll tell you what, Frugal Gourmet has shown people a lot of things in the last 2 weeks. You really had to look beyond him when you were looking at this race, but somehow Trevor Ritchie got the trip that this horse wanted, got the trip that he wanted, and it was just an incredible race. What a finish.
Well, Trevor Ritchie obviously has an affinity for the North American Cup, and right here, I thought he might get by him. It was a tremendous mile and a tremendous effort. Look at Frugal Gourmet. They're coming down to the wire, but
we're going to have another look at that finish. Here it is now.
Okay, and Jate is under heavy urging here. From our camera position, we're past the wire a bit, but Frugal Gourmet gives it all he has in the final few strides, and Jate he may not have won it by a head. It's very tight, but I'm almost positive that he did in fact win it.
Well, this is a look at our replay. We're going to have a look at the track replay too, and perhaps the camera angle will be a little more definitive, but it looks on our cameras like Jate Lobel got it by just the smallest of margins. There you see it right there. Now, here's the track replay.
Well, it looks even closer on the track replay, Steve. Jate Lobel, and you can see the two carts as the drivers shift on the horses, how the carts surge forward and back. First of all, Frugal Gourmet's cart surges ahead here, and now Jate Lobel surges ahead. These horses are extremely competitive, and they're coming to the wire. This is very tight.
I'll tell you what, if he's won by anything, it's just the length of the nose in front of the shadow roll.
It's going to take a while for this photo, because we had one here last night, Steve, that looked that close, and it looked like the outside horse won it. They haven't taken Frugal Gourmet back to the paddock. That was just a quick shot of him. His groom's keeping him around. They are bringing Jate back to the winner's circle, but he got the scare of his life going for $1 million tonight.
I don't know. I know he has lost one race in his career. I don't know how many others he's won by that margin. I don't know how many have been that tough, but there you see it. It is now official. Jate Lobel has won the 1987 North America Cup by the smallest of margins over a rank outsider, a 30-to-1 shot.
And it's interesting to note that the horse that finished second got almost as much purse money this year, Steve, for finishing second, about the same amount as the horse who won the race last year.
What a tremendous finish, and it's only fitting that the first $1 million event in the history of Canadian horse racing should end up like that. Undecided, they had to go to a photo, but in the final analysis, the horse that everybody predicted would win did win. Jate Lobel, his 22nd victory in 23 career starts. We'll be back with more from Greenwood Raceway in Toronto right after this. We're back at Greenwood Raceway in Toronto, where Jate Lobel has just won the 1987 running of the North America Cup. A $1 million purse, the first in the history of Canadian horse racing, rather, either standardbred or thoroughbred. And standing by in the winner's circle right now with the trainer and driver of Jate Lobel is Earl Lennox with Mark O'Meara.
Mark O'Meara, congratulations with your victory with Jate Lobel.
Thank you very much.
You had to have the scare of your life in that one.
Well, every time you go to the racetrack, it's quite a thrill, and he got awful close.
Now, in the race, he was beaten in the Meadowlands. He was passed at the head of the stretch, but this one, it was a tooth and nail battle right down to the wire.
It sure was.
Okay, we're going to have a look at the replay here, and I'd like you to describe what happened. In fact, I made $5 on the race. I predicted that you would go to the front and would not let anybody go, and you did just that.
Well, that's just the way the race worked out. We had a big head of steam up going out of there, and I had a choice of maybe they were all coming out of there, so I took the road down the highway.
Now, Buddy Gilmore challenged early with Stage Door Stevie, and you elected not to let him go at any point.
Well, there was other horses that were parked at the same time. If it was just him coming out of there, I possibly would have let him go, but there was other horses, and he was one that I had to beat. so no matter what, I couldn't give him a chance.
Your horse left so fast that Frugal Gourmet was able to tuck in behind you in front of Log and the trailing horses.
Yes, we got out of there awful fast.
Were you aware of what horse was immediately behind you?
No, I was not.
So at this point, did you say anything to Buddy here? Goodbye?
No, there was no goodbyes. He was still in the horse race just like the rest of them.
Okay, they go past the half, and an unbelievable half for Greenwood, 55 seconds, and you're on the way to a track record. And in the backstretch here, Frugal Gourmet is still keeping up.
Yes, he was.
Now you can hear him how close he is to, what are you doing at this point?
I'm just trying to get my horse's attention and have a full head of steam getting home. I want him to be pacing just as fast and just as hard as he can.
Did you look back at any point?
Well, I looked around to see how far back the other horses were and to check and see how close they might be coming.
That was a 3/4 time, 1:23.2, and of course the fastest 3/4 ever over Greenwood. Frugal Gourmet is obviously a trip horse. He got the trip here on Sunday night, and Trevor waited until late. You're inside the 8th pole before he pulled him.
Yes, I thought he might possibly get by me here. It's a long lane here, and Trevor's had the luck in this race before where he got up a nose. It looked like he might have done the same thing again this season. Looked like a repeat from last.
There'll be a lot of marks on the saddle pad.
Both horses.
There's the photo.
It was a nose.
Just a nose. So that's as close.
Fortunately, my horse's head was tipped out in front of him, and I think that was the margin.
The cart surged back and forth through the stretch there, and of course your horse is a nice long horse, but he had it when he needed it.
At the wire, yes.
Congratulations once again, Mark.
Thank you, Earl.
Well, that's Mark O'Meara. We'll be back with the winning owner, but back up to Steve for the official payoff. Steve?
All right, Earl, thank you very much. And one of the things that we overlooked in that exciting victory by Jade Lobel in the North America Cup was the fact that there were 2 Canadian horses that finished in the top 3. Frugal Gourmet, of course, who we've been talking about ever since about the halfway point of the race, finished second. He paid $860 and $210, and finishing third was one of the horses we discussed prior to the race, Rare Review, with Doug Brown on the bike. Rare Review returned $210 for the show. And Jade Lobel, to win that race, paid $270, $230, and $210. There's a look at the official prices right now. Jade Lobel, $270, $230, $210. Frugal Gourmet, $860 and $210. And another Canadian horse, Rare Review, $210 for the show position. Now, let's go back down to Earl in the winner's enclosure. And right now, he's talking to the owner of Jade Lobel, Joe McCluskey.
Steve, we're back in the winner's circle with Joe McCluskey of Battle Creek, Michigan. Joe owned a bowling alley. He bought this horse with some money he made from another horse a couple years ago. Joe, when you bought the horse for $20,000, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, expect you'd win $1 million race?
No.
What do you think of this performance tonight?
Well, I thought it was great. He's a great horse, and I'm just tickled to death.
Congratulations, and thanks for coming to Greenwood.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, back to you, and that was Joe McCluskey, the owner of Jade Lobel. Subsequent to buying him as a yearling, he sold him this past winter, syndicated him for $12 million. He sold a quarter interest in him, so the revenue just keeps rolling in from that original $20,000 investment less than 2 years ago. Steve?
All right, we're going to have one more look at the photo finish from the North America Cup, the $1 million event, the first in the history of Canadian horse racing. And there you can see it, Jade Lobel by, well, not even a nose, it's only by about a nostril. Jade Lobel wins $500,000 for finishing first in the final of the 1987 North America Cup. We've got more harness racing action coming up on TSN on July the 13th. We'll be back here at Greenwood in Toronto for the Canadian Pacing Derby. That features North America's top pacers. That's Monday, July the 13th, 8:30 Eastern Time here on TSN for the Canadian Pacing Derby. Once again, the winner of the 1987 North America Cup, the first $1 million event in the history of Canadian horse racing, and that goes either thoroughbred or standardbred, is Jade the Great Lobel. There you see him under the drive of Mark O'Meara in the stretch on his way to victory in the North America Cup. Thank you very much for joining us this evening and being a part of this Canadian horse racing history. For Earl Lennox, I'm Steve Cooney saying so long from Greenwood in Toronto.